Good morning. Our hand today is going to be 7-6 of clubs. So on this hand, we're going to be three-handed pre-flop, and then we'll get heads up on the flop. So here we have a limper, 19-3, 36 hands. Seems like he's tight passive. I'm going to try to isolate him. I don't want to call because I think if I call, I'm going to have both of these players call behind me. They're both playing pretty loose, including this guy, 51%. So if I try to isolate here and I get one caller, yeah, we'll probably have both of these. We'll probably have him call as well. But I think now's the time just to try to get a heads up versus this limper. I'm in position. So I raised to 5 big blinds. What's my raise? This is by button range, and I'm just going to go ahead and use that as my entire isolation raise. And then we get a caller. Villain 5 calls, and then Villain 3 calls. Villain 5 is the player that continues with the hand. He's playing 35-15. On his play, we can look at his small blind. He calls 2 bets 44% of the time. He's called a 3-bet 100, 1 out of 1. The one time he was playing with it. He limps. He raises with previous limpers. I think generally he's just a loose player. He's going to have a pretty wide range. Now he didn't 3-bet, so I took out queens plus ace king, but I still have 44% here, which is probably close. Might be a little bit too wide, but we're going to continue with it. Flop comes out 9-8-7, so we flop open-ended straight flush draw. Check to me. I'm continuing. I think this is a great hand to continue with. I've got a lot of value. Yes, this hand could hit both of the callers, but I'm betting here as like I think I would bet an 8. I would bet some of my over pairs as well. I'm betting here because I've got a big draw. So I bet half pot. Only Villain 5 calls. Turn is a 10, gives me the straight. I still have the open-ended straight flush draw. If I need to improve upon it, I bet half pot again. He calls, and then the river's the ace, and I think that's a pretty good card for me. I think any ace, like an ace 9, he connects. King 9, I think, is going to call. So when he checks, I went ahead and fired again, but villain folded. So I want to check out what GTO says on this play and kind of see if I should have, been as aggressive. So here we are. Villain should be leading out. He donks 13% of the time, so I guess I'm going to go with that. Definitely, I think he's donking because he has a lot more in that middle range that connects than I do. So he leads out now into 2 other opponents. I'm not sure if that's necessarily the correct play, but again, GTO is, this is all about heads up play. So we're going to say he checks. I should say, what hands is he betting? A lot of those 8s he's leading out here, which is good to know. So he checks. I'm going to be betting about 50% of the time, and you could see that I am about half the time I'm betting, half the time I'm checking. So I could have checked just as well here instead of betting, and I'm sure it is also, again, tied to his range. He connects harder with this board or more frequently with this board than my range, just because he's got a lot, quite a few hands. But then again, he also has a lot of hands that are going to get folded. So we bet, and villain calls with a pretty wide range, including overcards here. So he calls, and then we've got the 10 of spades. Villains should be checking, which I think he is. And then we're supposed to be betting. You can see 7-6. We're betting again. We're betting our 8s, our quads, our full houses. We're betting overcards, jacks, queens, kings. I want to go back over to here. We're betting those over pairs as well. We're betting, queen jack, king jack. I think that's okay. Against 2 players, yeah, I guess we could do that. The aces, though, I think we check those because if an ace comes, we're probably going to get paid off here. Whereas with the kings, if an ace comes, we're just going to have to fold. So might as well try to get some of those aces out. Maybe the player's going to fold an ace 8 or an ace 9. I'm sorry. Maybe he'll fold an ace 5 or an ace 6. and an ace comes on the turn, hey, that helps us because we just bought their equity here. So it's interesting to have, interesting to know. Ace sevens still betting, king sevens. We're basically bottom end of the straight. The gut shot with the king six. This must be balancing. Same thing with the twos, king twos. I think we're balanced. Well, no, because that's a flush draw as well. But like king six of hearts and diamonds, I think we're just kind of balancing with those. If called, we still could pick up that gut shot, the low end of the straight. But we bet villain should be raising some of the time. He didn't. He called, so we'll go with this. And then this was ace of spades. Ace of spades, villain checks with his entire range. And then our question is, should we bet? Should we fold? Now you could see on this river, that was 64. I could easily have just shoved, but I went for half pot here. So it doesn't even look like I'm supposed to do that. I think I'm supposed to just go ahead and shove with my range. So bet sizing, I think, was off a little bit. But I'm glad to see that we should be betting here. We're checking behinds with kings, queens, jacks. I think that makes sense. I think we've got aces, suited aces that are calling here. So checking with the under pairs, I think that's appropriate. We're going for bluffs with twos and threes. We're going for bluffs with king two of clubs. So king two of clubs balances the king two of spades. Approximately. We don't have as many king two of spades as we did king two of clubs. All right, so kind of bet sizing was off. If we bet, villain's folding all but kind of the middle cards, two pairs, trips, full houses. Ace 10 should be calling two pairs. Ace 10, ace 9. He folded, so maybe he had the flush, the club, and just completely missed. Maybe, like a king queen, maybe a king jack. Missed all of those and just decided to fold. So overall, the play was okay. I think we were right. What do we do with the different cards? So let's say a king spades came out, villain checks. We're still betting. I think the king is a great card. I think ace is a great card to continue betting. 7-6 becomes a jack. So nope, king of spades. You can see 7-6 continues to lead, but here it is. 7-6 of clubs continues to lead, but with the ace of spades, 7-6 becomes mostly a check. Let's do ace of diamonds. But ace of diamonds, yeah, ace of diamonds still mostly a check. What about hearts? I'm gonna say it's probably the same, mostly a check. Yeah, with our 7-6 of clubs. So we're still betting the non-clubs, and probably because if we bet here and he raises all in with us, we're folding all the other 7-6s, but we're gonna have to call with the 7-6 of clubs. And if we're calling with the 7-6 of clubs, we're probably behind. We're probably behind. So I think that's probably why we're with the ace, we're leaning more towards checking. I think a queen we would bet. So say queen of spades. Yeah, queen of spades we're betting. Jack of spades. Yeah, I'm going to say we're probably betting again the overcards because it helps our barreling range. We always look at it and say, well, any of these overcards is going to help us because we could be c-betting with a wide range, including with the overcards. So when an overcard does come, I think that does improve. It improves our fold equity because it's a scare card. It's a scare card for our opponent, and with those cards, we're probably still gonna c-bet because if we connect, that it actually improves our equity. So with the jack of spades, we're still betting. 10 of spades, I'm not sure. I'm gonna say 10 of spades. Yeah, no, 10 of spades. That's what happened. What if it wasn't? What if it was a 10 of clubs? Well, heck, that hit straight flush. So let's say 10 of clubs, straight flush. We're still betting. Don't slow down. Don't slow down. Keep betting. What about the 10 of hearts? We're still betting with our straight. What about nines? Nines were slowing down, and I think that's right because a caller's more it's going to be more likely to have the 9 or the 8, and at that point we're going to have to hit that straight flush. What about an 8? What if an 8 of diamonds came out? If villain checks, we're mostly betting here, and any of our lower cards, we're still going to be aggressive here. So, all right, so looks like we're on the right track here with 7-6. Definitely, if I'm gonna say, even if the 5 of clubs comes out, giving us a straight flush, we're still betting. Yep, we're don't slow play. Bet. Hope he has an 8. Hope he has an overpair that's gonna call all the way. So did we check the aces? So ace of diamonds, he checks. We're still betting. I'm gonna guess the 9 or let's see, a 10, a 9, or an 8 is probably where we're going to be checking here. So 10 looks like we're checking. The 9 looks like we're checking. The 8 looks like we're checking. The 7 isn't great, but I think we could probably bet. No, we're still checking with that. What about the 6? 6 we're betting. We're betting half pot here. That's the first time we hit half pot bet. What about the 5? 5 we're betting. So, and we're shoving. So, and again, these are diamonds. So if it was a club, it's different. I think it's a spade. We continue. So we bet 6 of spades. Is that going to be a half pot bet? No, that's a check with the 6 of spades. Was it 3 of spades a check too? No, we're a bet. Let's do 7 of spades one last time. 7 of spades check. We had the ace of spades, king of spades. We're shoving all in. I'm sure jack of spades, we're probably shoving all in. Nah, jack of spades, we could be a queen. A queen could be there. We're checking that. So just got to get in more of these situations so I can learn. So hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, look tomorrow for another hand.